Before we get into today's update, I want to give a quick synopsis of what to expect. First, as you can see behind me, you got the 2, 5, 10, and 30-year bonds. They're all down slightly. We've got the 2 to 10-year up about 0.64 basis points. We've also got to talk about how the DXY is reversed under 105. We've got to talk about Bitcoin in relation to XRP, as well as XRP sits about the 0.377 level, which is right at R1 resistance 1. I'll show you the R1, R2, and R3, and S1, S2, S3, which are the nearest support and resistance. We'll take a closer look at the trading volume. As this morning, the Dow Jones is up 226 points. The S&P is up 3250. NASDAQ's up 131.25. And the Russell 2000 is up 18 points. We'll take a look at the trading volume in relation to how the price action is moving. And we'll also look by definition what trading volume is. Make sure to hit that like button, as it can really push me through the analytics. And I greatly appreciate each and every one of you on the start of this new trading week on this Monday morning. I'll catch you on the other side of the intro. Good morning. 8:51 a.m. Eastern Standard Time on this Monday, February 27, 2023. I'm XRP Future Millionaire, and I reside in the great state of Michigan. So let's get into it real quickly here. DXY is down 0.3% or 38.5 cents to 104.871. We've put in a nice little bear flag, it looks like, as we have a topping reversal. It looks like it's starting to form here. We talked about this to start the weekend, though. Even if we continue moving up, 105.303 was a nice resistance. We more than likely would have to come back and prove this uptrend at around 104.55, and it looks like that's exactly what we're doing this morning. So let's pay attention to this movement right now and see exactly what happens. As we already know, this is our last hope for the US dollar. Once it breaks this, we're in some trouble. We're on the ascending triangle breakout, so it's in our best interest to hold this 104.54 area. So that's what we're looking at on this Monday morning with the US dollar currency index. Gold and silver under a tiny bit of pressure, but up $5 for gold, down about 9 cents for silver. Total crypto market cap at 104.2 trillion. Have a nice little push up here already on this Monday morning. You'll notice this in all of crypto. I thought it was very important right now to do this update. If we look at this, 104.9 trillion. We'll put that up there because that's the nearest resistance right now. And in between, if we can hold this still, this 990 billion, which we never gave up again this weekend, we need to first break 104.9 trillion approximately. Then you have a level up here that we've created a little level of resistance, but the next major resistance is 113.9 trillion. But 104.9 trillion would be a huge move if we could break that. When we look at XRP, we're at 3783 now at 0.11%. We're above a key resistance area, our first resistance of 377. I'll let this load. Our first level was 377. That's a major resistance support level. And right now it's been acting as resistance all weekend. If you break that, you could try to push back up to the 386 and ultimately come back up here to about the 397 level if you hit it today. So that's what we'd be looking at. R1 right now, which we're using as resistance, but we're trying to flip it as we speak, would be 377. R2 would be 386. R3 would be 397. If you look underneath, the first big support, we talked about, well, I don't think we've talked about it yet this morning. We have to pay attention to that now, the 369 roughly. But that's just so you can see it. But that's the pattern formation. The next major support, if we lose 377, would be down at around the 362. And then we've also got the 348 down there as well. But that's where X marks the spot. But an area I'd be looking at. So if I was doing this, I would say S1 is at 368. S2 is at 362. And S3 is down here on the downtrending support, which you could say is still at the 351 level. So that's what I'd be looking at before we ultimately try to make our way down here if we were to break down to the 347 level. But right now, firmly, we're trying to figure out if this 377 on Monday is resistance or support still. As right now, we've come back over the 377 very briefly. And I want to show, though, take a focus real quick on trading volume. So right now, if you look down here, we've gotten, in this 30-minute candle, we've got 792,000. In this candle, 322,000, 524,000, and yada, yada, yada. So if we're looking at the trading volume, I mean, it's not looking great. There's not a lot of volume here. If you come up here, there was a little bit less volume coming through. So basically what we're looking at for the trading volume is we're trying to see. So on this 30-minute candle, we've had 815,000 in volume so far. We still got 3 minutes. How does that relate to some of these other candles? Well, we had 322,000, so a big increase on that volume. On the dump volume, we had 857,000. We had 1 million on the reversal, 796, 520. So, I mean, the volume came in a little bit on this, but we're going to have to continue a volume presence to try to break 3803, which is on the 200-day and the 20-day. I mean, yeah, in the 30-minute time frame. That's a big level we're going to have to break as well. But that's not, you know, a major resistance. That's just at the 200-day. And that's just where the exponential moving averages are moving. So right now the volume, though, we've got a little bit of a volume spike here at 820,000 comparative or relative to the previous candles before. So that could be an indication of something starting on this Monday morning. But we're going to have to see if this volume can continue in the next candle. So we're going to want to see in the next candle if we can increase on this volume pressure. And we're at 830,000 approximately right now. So we're going to see in the next 30-minute candle. It's going to be a very critical candle to see if we can continue this momentum. And then if you're wondering a little bit by definition what trading volume is, I'm glad you asked. So trading volume refers to the total number of shares or contracts that are traded for a given security or financial instrument during a specific period, usually a day or session. It is a measure of the level of market activity and liquidity, and it is used by investors and analysts to gauge the interest and sentiment of market participants. The trading volume is reported by exchanges and can be seen in the form of charts or tables, where it is often accompanied by other indicators such as price, open interest, and bid-ask price or spread. High trading volume generally indicates that there is a lot of buying and selling activity, which can lead to significant price movements and increased volatility. Conversely, low trading volume may suggest that there is little interest in a security, which can make it difficult to buy or sell at a fair price. Trading volume can also be used to analyze market trends and to identify potential opportunities or risk. For example, a high trading volume in a particular stock or sector may indicate that there is significant news or events that are driving the market, while a low trading volume may suggest that investors are waiting on the sidelines or that there is a lack of catalyst for the market. So now that you have a better understanding of what trading volume is by definition, we've already talked about trading volume as used on the volume indicator, and that's how you can see how much volume there is. That's also the little graph you see on the bottom of the green and red volume. That's by the volume indicator using on TradingView. So you'd go to indicators, and then you would just type in volume. I just use the straight volume, and then I have the EMA 20, 50, 100, 200, but I have those other ones saved that I don't technically generally ever use because you guys never see them. So yeah, that's what I'm looking at this morning. So if I'm watching XRP, I'm looking at that 377 mark firmly, and then I'm also seeing if we have any volume on this next 30-minute candle to try to push over the 3803 level, which is the 200-day and the 30-minute time frame. Aside from getting another volume burst, we could be capping any upside at 3803, but if we get more volume to push up here, that is what we want to see. So we'd like to see over 1 million in volume on this 30-minute candle. So watch this 30-minute candle, see if we can get over 1 million in volume, and see if we can continue this momentum, or if it was just a fake out push to start the Monday morning trading session, and things are going to reverse rather quickly. That's what we have to watch out for. It's very dangerous. We do have a historical collapse that is looming large. If you look at Bitcoin, we are on the bottom side of this uptrending support still, and we haven't retested it as new resistance, so it's not out of the ordinary for this to come up to 24,438 today and try to prove this as new resistance as it was the old support on the way up, and that started back on February 13th. You can very clearly see the breakdown, and now we could get a retest. If not a retest, we need to break this 24,400 and ultimately push over this 25,194 and push up and make a new high for this pattern. Otherwise, if we get rejected up here at 24,400, it'll be a very quick retrace down to 21,965. But at least we can say we can at least use this. And if we do break down, we can see our kind of what we're forming here now. So this is what I'd be looking at right here. If Bitcoin were to start breaking down, we got to kind of use our trend lines, which we'll talk about trend lines in further updates as well. We've already talked about uptrending support and resistance, but I want to get deeper into trend lines too. So that's the new trend line that we can use this morning. So now you can clearly see uptrending resistance at about 24,400, or this uptrending support, the ascending support at 23,400 approximately. So you have 24,400 of uptrending resistance, 23,400 of uptrending support to keep it simple. So make sure you're paying attention to these charts. Make sure you're paying attention to what I said in this morning's update. I'm XRP Future Millionaire. If you got anything out of this update, make sure to hit the like button. If you want to trade like I do on Mexi and or BitGet, so you don't have to pay no spot fees on the buy and sell, that's in the video description below and the pinned comment. And also, if you want to join Tom's Army, which would be greatly appreciative, you can join Tom's Army by looking in the pinned message below and or the video description below. Hashtag be better, do better. Hashtag FUD Assassins. And remember, help one person each and every day. Because if I don't do my part and you don't do your part, what the hell is the point on this journey alone? And also remember, XRP is under 40 cents still. As we get increased pressure on cryptocurrency, and if we do continue to collapse, make sure you're paying attention and make sure you're starting to buy as a unit. You can't just buy this when it gets to the exact bottom. You got to have a set strategy, a set plan, because we're already down better than 80% from the top in 2021 when XRP did hit $1.98. So these numbers are absolute steals. Stay blessed, everybody.